Hey, what's up? This is JM, host of the Celebrity Grill podcast on iTunes, and you're listening to the Barbecue Central Radio Network. All barbecue and grilling, all the time.
From my heart and from my hand, why don't people understand my intention?
Happy to have you aboard here for the really big barbecue show.
We cook because we have to, and we grill because we want to.
Fine, how's it going?
You have a great show. I'm a big fan. So what seems to be the problem here? This man looks like he's dead, and he's in the crackle.
Charbono! It's all about the Charbono, dude!
Succulent fish! What?
He ate 54 wieners.
But listen, Lavernius, shake your face.
I'm shaking like a dog shit peach seeds.
You could use it to fight off creeping marauders looking to take your steaks off your grills.
I just like being anywhere with Junior, Senior, and Diva.
Sounds like a whole other type of movie.
Wow. Yeah, really. Keep it hot, keep it clean, keep it lubricated.
We have top men working on it right now. Ooh, top men.
Hey, welcome to the second hour, everybody. Top men working on everything. Evidently, this is a favorite part of the show. Really doesn't involve me whatsoever. I mean, I made it. I put on the guests that gave you that great montage of sound drops. Well, minus the Diva Q Menage a Trois sound drop. Wow. That's still one of the best quick-witted comebacks things I've ever even heard of. Yeah, it's happening again. Why does it do that? Got to remember to take it off the... one of the best sound drops ever, and I have to thank Danielle Dubofsky for being so quick-witted when Emmy Award-winning executive producer, TV show legend, John Marcus said just like being anywhere with Junior, Senior, and Diva, and she whips out with it sounds like a whole different type of movie. That's right, ladies and gentlemen, no doubt about it. I know what you're talking about. Get your mind out of the gutter. All right. So coming up here in just a few minutes, we're going to be joined by Mike Reimann from AZ Barbecue. Go ahead and check out their website, azbarbecue.com. Lots of great stuff to get involved with. They also have a very cool barbecue forum as well. So, well, Diva getting love on the instant chat, no doubt about it. She's something forced to be reckoned with. She's like her and Mother Nature could go head to head, and I would put my money on Diva, unless it was Mother Nature named Ditka, and then, of course, I would always pick Ditka. Never mind. So we're going to be joined by Mike Reimann here in just a few minutes. Next week's show, we're going to be talking with the winner of Lakeland's Pig Festival, now evidently under a shroud of controversy. Tuffy Stone getting DQ'd, maybe by telephone. There's video running wild. I'm going to be checking that out here in post-production so I know what the hell I'm talking about. And we'll have, I believe it was Mike Breen and Mark Breen, and we'll talk to him about winning the event. Certainly don't want to take anything away from that. And kind of get his take on where this is all shaken out and how he got into the whole barbecue scene. You know, it's what I do. Talk to these barbecue people that are out there in the competition world, see how they got kind of bitten in and hooked in, and this is what they do now. So it seems to be, somebody wins something or they did really well at a competition or the second competition. We're going to be, what's going on here? There we go. Now we're back. It's going to be a good time. What can I tell you? And then hopefully we'll hook up Robin Lindars next week. Typically, I don't like to just blow off a guest. Here's my guess. My guess is she thought the show is still on Wednesday. Maybe she hasn't been on since. No, I think she's been on the show. I think she was on last month, now that I come to think about it. I can't recall. A lot of you people are fans of the show. Did I have her on last week? I can't remember. So regardless, that's my thought, is maybe she thought it was still Wednesday or something like that, and we had a little miscommunication. I don't know. Yeah, she got snowed in the Keys. That happens. Never. They're like really close to the equator. I think they're only like 8 or 9 miles from the equator at that point when you're that far south. So there you go. Anyway, let's go ahead here and get our our After Dark guest. all lined up here. Come on. Here we go. They used a Skype thing. My Skype phone book is starting to really become a veritable who's who in the barbecue and grilling world. Don't be jealous that I have multiple people on. How unprofessional is that? We have multiple people right here ready to go. So without further ado, we're going to go ahead and race over to the phone line and bring in a first-timer to the show, but somebody that I've actually wanted to have on this show for quite some time. It is Mike Reimann of AZ Barbecue. Mike, how are you tonight, buddy?
Good, Greg. How you doing? Appreciate you having me on.
Not a problem. My pleasure, and thanks for making time out for the show tonight, Mike. So, where do we start? Obviously, I kind of had formed an online relationship with you and kind of following your whole competition that you've been putting on competitions. You really kind of single-handedly, well, maybe I shouldn't say single-handedly, but been a very part of a single or double hand of getting Arizona on the map in terms of barbecue in general, and then, of course, elevating that into some really great barbecue competitions, which had been, I guess, sanctioned by Kansas City Barbecue Society up until recently. So before we get into any of all that, you actually sectioning off and starting your own faction of competition barbecue, where does the background come from? What gets you intrigued into barbecue? Is it something that's always been in the background? Something you did with your parents and you've kind of just grown into it, or where does it start for you?
Actually, it's funny. It's a funny story. AZ Barbecue actually started a bunch of buddies, and I ran a tailgate club at ASU for many years. And, was always wanted to look like the Mac Daddies rolling in with the big grills and everything. And so, always searched around, finally found a great grill to take out there and, started up the website to post up our conquests and everything. And it just grew from there.
So was it mostly grilling at that point, or did you have a...
No, it was smoking. It was a diamond plate smoker that we got.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, you had a knowledge of what the difference between the two was. Typically, I would imagine that, like, the general public really still doesn't have a grasp on the two difference in cooking methods.
Oh, absolutely. And definitely the tailgating out here is not conducive to it either any longer. There's rules about charcoal grills out here. The only thing you can use at tailgates out here nowadays are propane, so we pretty much have to cook everything up ahead of time and take out there.
Is that for, like, clean air laws or what?
No, it's like, the owner of the Cardinals basically said, tailgating was invented when there was no infrastructure. Now there's infrastructure, so there's no need for tailgating. So it's pretty bold statement.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
What's the infrastructure?
They're trying to get you to come spend your money in their restaurants instead of out in the parking lot.
All right. So they want you to buy the food in the stadium instead of consuming beer and food outside the stadium and leaving them a little short in the concessions revenue area.
Exactly.
Well, now that's a very bold move. I mean, what's the vibe of the ASU fans about that? Are they pretty pissed off, or what's the deal?
Well, you got to live with it. You just got to move on and make adjustments. We've done fairly well. We throw some killer tailgates. We're actually we were the reigning national tailgate champions for 2009, which was kind of cool. We won the Bubba Keg contest and did all that. So that was kind of neat.
Yeah, now I know you got your hands on a Bubba Keg. I had my hands on one as well. It's actually still on the deck in about 2 feet of snow right now, but I could easily get to it if I wanted to freeze my ass off in 10 degree below zero weather. I mean, what's your take on the Bubba Keg? How well do you like it? Would you recommend it to friends and family?
I think it's a great beginner grill. For what I use it for and what I do, it doesn't work. It doesn't cook enough food, but we had a lot of fun with it and cooked up some great things. And it reminds me of cooking on the Big Green Eggs out at the Egg Fest and stuff that we go to.
All right. So when did you decide that you wanted to kind of take a step up, if you will, elevate that barbecue game from just something that you were doing as tailgating and with buddies and friends and neighbors and whatnot, and take it to more of a state stage and start getting barbecue competitions together?
I actually had a buddy who had an autistic daughter, and there was really not a lot of support out here in Arizona for autism research and autism support, so we decided to throw a benefit. And we couldn't think of anything better than a barbecue comp because there really wasn't any out here in Arizona at the time. So, we wound up going ahead and putting on the biggest event in Arizona ever at the time. 52 teams our first event when our goal was 5 to 10. So we kind of hit it out of the ballpark on the first event.
And did you know who to contact initially as far as getting sanctioning, or how did you go about that? I mean, I field probably 5 email questions a week from people asking me how they would want to go about setting up a barbecue competition. I have no idea. It just seems almost too vast for me to get my head around as far as, do I need an event to build in a competition? Is it something that I can just have by itself and things will kind of fall in place? What were the things that you really needed to take in consideration to make sure you're going to be throwing a successful event?
I think we lucked out in the fact that we didn't know what the heck we were doing. I think we just kind of fell into it, and it grew from there. It was we got a great sponsor in DeWalton, and they kind of helped us manage the event, and we got some great media on board because, like I said, there had been nothing in Arizona up until that point worthy of speaking of. So it just took off, and it was an incredible event, and it hooked us, it hooked the teams out here, and off we went.
Mike Reimann joining us from AZ Barbecue. So how long of a relationship did you have with Kansas City Barbecue Society?
Well, ever since we started, we've had a great relationship with them. We've done a lot of events. We've done a lot of KCBS and IBCA events out here, and we've had our challenges, we've had our successes, and we've had a lot of fun. And I thought we had a great thing going, and was taken by surprise and shock at everything that went down this past year.
So let's talk about that a little bit. I mean, actually, before we do that, you've done some IBCA. What did you like about those events, and did you ever consider just dropping KCBS and just taking IBCA along for a whole ride instead of floating between the two or starting something on your own?
Well, funny, we actually did an event a couple years ago with a dual sanction. We did both an IBCA and KCBS on the exact same day. And we had all certified judges for the KCBS, and we pulled in all public for the IBCA, ran them in half-hour intervals, and I'd be darned if the results didn't almost mirror each other. And it was kind of a neat experiment that we did, and it was a pretty cool event.
So, but it's nothing you ever thought about just taking IBCA fully into? You just wanted to kind of branch out on your own at this point?
Well, the IBCA, we've had a good relationship with them as well. A lot of the competitors don't necessarily like them because they don't score all the way through the field. And as a competitor myself, when I go out on the field, if there's 40 of us, and you're IBCA, well, everybody's number 11, and as much as that's fun to say you're number 11, if you're actually the 40th one out there, you got a lot more, to do to fix it than if you're actually number 11. So.
All right, so let's go ahead and talk a little bit about the bitter breakup that we've kind of heard here and there about, but why not talk to the guy that's really intimately involved with it? At some point, KCBS banned you or banned AZ Barbecue from being able to sanction events. Kind of fill us in on how it gets handed down and the events that kind of led up to this.
Well, basically, we had an event that we did in 2009, December of 2009, our Barbecue Island event, Tempe Q and Brew, and there were some issues out there with some of the competitors who had approached the sponsor during the event in front of his top clients, and basically weren't happy that they were paying so deep in the field and that he had a best booth, and kind of embarrassed them in front of his clients and everything else. And so he basically said, hey, no offense, but I'm not going to sponsor this again next year and have it here. I just feel like I got beat up too much, and I want to move on from that. And so we kept the event and looked for a different venue, and we had always wanted to have it out at this casino that was out here. And so we started meeting with them, met with them for about 6 or 7 months, and we're all ready to go. And one of the things we do with our events out here in Arizona is we require that the prize money be put in an escrow account prior to running forward with the event, just to make sure that all the competitors are paid and everything's on the up and up. And so we met with the casino and everything was great. We were just waiting for the escrow money to come through. And then they told us that they wanted to make the event even bigger and better, wanted to get some big bands in there, and asked us if we did that. And, that was kind of out of our realm at the time. We really hadn't started doing that. We didn't have the contacts for that and the experience. So they asked if it was all right if they brought in another promotions company, which we jumped at and said absolutely. So we had a couple meetings with them and the other promotions company, and then all of a sudden the calls and everything just stopped. So supposedly, I guess the other promotions company went back to them and said, well, why do you pay them? Why do you pay us? We can do it all for you. You don't need them. And so we were kind of, shoecased out of the entire, picture there. And, then there was a big uproar here in AZ Barbecue and the Arizona barbecue community, and then they saw their mistake, but now their pride won't let them bring us back in. So now they had to go find another, national promoter.
So let me back up here for a minute. So you had a successful event one year for this Tempe Q and Brew, and Did I understand you right? You had teams going up to the major sponsor and giving them crap?
Yeah, they gave them crap because one of the things that we do at our events out here is we try to pay deep into the field. We try to play top 5 or top 10.
Right.
And then we also do what's called a best booth contest. And the reason we do that is because the sponsors and the public and everything, they don't want to see Billy Joe Bob out of the back of his pickup cooking. They want to come and see a cool setup and see what they see on TV and the fun stuff. And it adds a new element to the events, and it's a lot of fun. We theme them. Like this past weekend, we just had a tailgate throwdown, so teams had to dress up in their favorite teams and sports, and it just adds a new realm. And these are teams that are winning all the time, and they just weren't happy that the top spots weren't paying more money. They're coming out here. They want to win the majority of the money, I guess.
Isn't this something that they were made aware of before they came into?
Oh yeah, it's all posted well in advance, but they still felt that they needed to beat up the sponsor right there. And the sad part about Chris Marks was standing right next to him when it happened, because Chris was out there for the event as well.
Right. So, and these teams are just taking it upon themselves. They just kind of showing, unfortunately, the greed of wanting to take more of the purse, evidently.
Yep.
Wow. That's, I don't know. That doesn't sit very well with me. Mike Reimann joining us here over AZ Barbecue. So this all transpires. You're going to be without KCBS sanctioning, and instead of folding up shop, I mean, you obviously have spent a lot of time, a lot of years developing this, getting your events underway, and really making them quite successful. And from all the teams that I had talked to that had been out in Arizona for competitions that you had been running, said they were all very top-notch. You didn't decide to pack up the suitcase, take your ball, and go home. You wanted to start something completely different. So go ahead and tell us about that.
Yeah, we've been doing for years is we have a lot of mini competitions here in Arizona. We'll do like brisket-only competitions or rib competitions to try to get new people into the sport of barbecue and into the fun that we do. And so we had already created our own kind of sanctioning and scoring system up for that. And so when KCBS decided that they no longer wanted to work with us, and they still have yet to give us a reason for the ban, but that's neither here nor there. It's their ball. They want to take it and go home. Let them. We'll move forward. So. Mm-hmm. We got together with an advisory board of some judges, some of our members, and some of our at-large teams, and sat down, had a couple of focus groups at some of our comps last year, and just decided to move forward and create our own sanctioning body. There's enough of them out there that we were able to pull from and look at, and our whole goal was we wanted to make it where it was a lot easier for teams to come in and compete. Matter of fact, our new mission statement is, we're here to sanction and conduct barbecue events that support charitable endeavors, foster friendly competition, and promote the American cuisine known as barbecue. We really want to take it back to grassroots and just have fun with it, get more teams involved, and just enjoy barbecue once again, take the politics as far out of it as we can. How many different events are you going to have over the course of the year? Well, last year we did 9 ourselves, and we had a total of 11 here in Arizona. This year our goal is to, since we're just starting this new sanctioning body, our goal is to do anywhere from 5 to 8 events out here in Arizona this year. And, we just had our first one this past weekend, highly successful. We had 28 teams and from all over. We had from Illinois, Utah, Nevada, California, Arizona. I mean, we had some great teams that came out for it, had a lot of fun. Still had the, $10,000 in prize money. And, it was a big success, ran really nice, really smooth. And, we've done enough of these events now where, I think we know what we're doing. So the question that I have, obviously, Mike, is you go through and you're going to start your own sanctioning body. It's the Barbeque Championship Series. You're going to have however many number of events that you've already planned out for the course of this year. And I would imagine as things become more and more successful, more and more events will be planned around that great state of Arizona. What do you take or how do you develop a scoring system? Tell us how you came up with the scoring system and then how you're going to be training judges. Well, basically, the scoring system we did completely in Excel. We had a couple of our members who are just, Excel whizzes. I'm personally okay with it, but not a whiz with it. But one of our club ambassadors out here, she was just phenomenal with it, and unfortunately, her and her husband moved to Hawaii, but they started up the Hawaiian Barbecue Society, so they're going to continue with us in that aspect. But she helped us out with it and created it, and we've edited out a couple of events, brisket competitions and rib competitions beforehand, and it worked great in this weekend's event. Are you going off of a particular scoring system where you're starting with this many points and judging down like some of the other ones, or is it completely different? We made it completely different. We made it a scale of 1 to 10, and we really labeled down the where a 2 is this, a 3 is this, and We really did our best to make it as nice and easy as we could for the judges. That hey, this is a 2 because of this, or this is a 7 because of this, and the scoring this weekend was nice, and having a score of 1 to 10 was really kind of neat. Seeing a lot of 10s out there, and for appearances or presentation as we're calling it, and flavor and things like that was really kind of neat.
Are you trying to? I guess one of the things that I'm always talking about when we're talking about any sanctioning body, and I guess especially KCBS because they're the biggest. When judges are being presented in open box, what you hear a lot from competitors is the fact that they're always trying to, or at least I guess the idea behind the KCBS rules and the training is to give the competitors a consistent playing field, no matter if they're going to be in Vermont or whether they're going to be in Sacramento, California, all points in between. But look, I mean, we're all human, so when you see something that you don't like visually, you're obviously going to score down. If you taste something that isn't in your flavor profile, things that you like, you're going to score down. How are you going about trying to, even that playing field as far as how you're telling judges to score?
Well, that's what we're hoping, that the new scoring template actually helps them, because it actually spells it out pretty good. And, for the first event, we went with judges who had been certified through other sanctioning bodies for the first couple of ones. We're still in the process of developing our own sanctioning, or our own judging criteria and certification program out here. We're hoping to have it out by mid-year. But for right now, if you're currently a certified barbecue judge with another organization, we'll give you the hour-long update on what's different with ours, and what we're looking for, or what you should be looking for. And like I said, we took it a lot more back to grassroots on. We don't want to tell you what to be looking for. People know what good barbecue is to them, and we want them to decide. Just back when we did the two scoring templates side by side, the IBCA and KCBS. I mean, I was really stunned to see them almost identical.
Mm-hmm. Mike Reimann joining us. AZBarbecue.com is his website. Does the Barbecue Championship Series have its own website, Mike?
It does. It's barbequechampionshipseries.org, or you can go bcsbbq.com, or there's a number of them that'll get you over there.
Any potential legal issues with BCS? Anything?
We looked at it. Nothing was taken. Matter of fact, we got we grabbed the trademark for Barbecue Championship Series, and we got the LLC and everything. So I think we're okay.
All right, well, I think
you always get somebody wanting to sue you for something, so who knows?
Oh, absolutely. I'm garnering 15 to 20 legal issues myself every week because, the show is catering to any and everybody in live fire cooking. I'm just kidding about that, by the way. But BCS, Barbecue Championship Series, sounds like a great marketing tool and something you're going to be able to build on from there. So it was bcsbbq.com or barbequechampionshipseries.org?
Yep.
All right, so make sure that everybody goes ahead and checks them out. Next event that you're going to be having?
We're working on 2 right now, one in March and another one in May out here in Arizona. And then we've been contacted by a Nevada organization and a couple in California that are looking to possibly sanction with our sanctioning body as well. So we could potentially be in 3 or 4 states by the end of the year.
Wow, 3 or 4 states. Do you have a prize for like a team or do you even have any type of team of the year that you're going to be rolling out this year? Is that something that, given the potential popularity or growth of the sanctioning body, is something you would add in the future?
Well, absolutely. I mean, we've had our own AZ Barbecue Team of the Year going now for a couple of years, and that's grown fairly good. And so this year we're moving on. We're going to get any event that's a BCS event, a barbecue championship event. Teams will earn points toward it. And, of course, we're going to do a Team of the Year at the end of the year at that, and we're still going to move forward with our AZ Barbecue Team of the Year as well. So,
any garnish in the box?
Yeah, actually, that's one of the neat things that we did is the rule for the garnish is that it can be any green leafy vegetable. We don't limit it to just the green tip or the parsley, and you can actually use a sheet of foil, too, if that's what you'd rather do. So we tried to make it as open and fun for everybody as we could.
There's no optional? It's not like optional?
Oh, no, it's completely optional.
So do you think you're going to see more garnish boxes or not garnish boxes?
Well, it was neat. At this event this weekend, we saw some really cool boxes that, you had the red tip lettuce in, and we saw some that they had done foil that looked really good. I mean, all the boxes this weekend at the past event just looked incredible. And, I think the teams really jumped on it, and they're liking the fact that they can, be creative and do some fun stuff with it.
All right, so let me ask the impossible question here, Mike, because I'm sure you're kind of waiting for me to ask you this. As we peruse the barbecue road 5 years from now or so, where would you like to see Barbecue Championship Series amongst all the other sanctioning bodies? What are your long-term goals?
Long-term goals is to, probably be, doing, 20 to 30 events a year. And, I don't see us doing the 100, 200 team events. I don't think that's our mission. Our mission is more doing the startup events and the medium range events, and just getting teams out there and getting them competing for the first time and seeing what it's all about and just having a good time. You
have a lot of experience around a number of different sanctioning bodies, Mike, and there's always talk, especially in KCBS circles, about how that there might be some kind of sectioning off or maybe like a major league of competition barbecue that might be developed or that might faction out of the KCBS, being its own little like a NASCAR run, if you will. Is it something you foresee with some of the big teams that are out there doing the 30-plus competitions a year?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I keep telling everybody I think barbecue's the next NASCAR. I mean, 5 years ago, guys are pulling the barbecues from their backyards off the back of their pickups. Nowadays, you look at these guys rolling into the events, and they're all rolling with NASCAR-sized rigs and, these big $30,000 RVs and everything else. So, I definitely see the progression toward that, absolutely.
Mike, you want to take a phone call?
Sure.
All right, we'll go ahead and add this person into the conference. Area code 678, you're on with Mike Reimann of AZ Barbecue. Go ahead.
Hey, how are you doing? I was just kind of listening in and was wondering if the gentleman was still on, if he was forming the new barbecue corporation. Is he going to be bringing any of his stuff down south, the stuff that the KCBS won't touch?
Where are you at specifically that you might be referencing?
Down South Georgia.
Down South Georgia. All right, Mike, what about that?
I'd love to get to Georgia. A lot of good friends back in Georgia, and we go back there a couple times a year for football games and some real tailgating. So absolutely, we'd love to do some of our sanctioning events back there. Just have them contact us.
All right. So I guess how would a guy like this, if he's interested in trying to find out ways to get stuff down there, is it just a matter of going to either website and getting in contact with you, Mike?
Yeah, on the website there's a request for sanctioning, and just click on it and shoot our sanctioning director an email. Nancy, she's wonderful. She's been around it for many years. She knows what she's doing, and we'll get you all set up and taken care of. See if we can help you out.
All right, how's that sound for you, buddy?
It sounds good. I know there's a couple local events around here trying to get sanctioned by the KCBS, and I think one of them is going to wind up having to do just a pro division only in order to get the KCBS involved. And I know that, like I said, some other groups around the area were looking. But about how long has the corporation been? How long has the group been together?
January 1st we started, but we've been doing events now for 6 years. So, we started the Barbeque Championship Series up because our backs were to the wall and we had to do something to continue doing events out here. So
you can jump on the ground floor there down in Georgia.
Yeah.
All right. Well, go ahead and hit Mike up there on his website, and appreciate the call. And you can go ahead and see if you can, be one of the first guys to kind of launch over on the East Coast. I mean, that would be something that'd be pretty cool, right, Mike?
Absolutely. Hey, Greg, can I address one of the questions on the chat?
You're not just paying undivided attention to me, Mike?
I am, man. I'm watching you. I'm also paying attention to the chat. Some good questions on there.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, somebody asked if it was going to keep our winners out of the Jack. We've actually talked to the Jack and the Royal, and I have an open-ended proclamation from our governor out here that declares any of my events a state championship event. So the Jack and the Royal only cared that they were state championship events and that we had the qualifying amount of teams. So as long as we have 15 teams for a first-year event or 25 for a second-year event, our events out here in Arizona will still be Jack and Royal qualifiers.
All right. Let's go ahead and take another call, Mike, if you're amenable. We'll go to area code 808. Go ahead. You're on with Mike Reimann of AZ Barbecue and the Barbecue Championship Series.
This is Lisa Desjardins calling just to say that we look forward to having the BCS out in Hawaii to sanction our first Hawaii barbecue competition.
Wow. Out there in Hawaii, man. Any way that I'm going to be able to get a fully comped airline ticket to be able to do live remote show in Hawaii? Any chance of that happening?
We'd have to see what we could do, but definitely could work on it.
Lisa, why? How big is barbecue out there in Hawaii that you can tell?
Right now, barbecue is not very big in Hawaii. My husband and I just moved here. We actually competed with Mike in Arizona with AZ Barbecue and moved out here about 3 months ago. Started up the Hawaii barbecue site here in Hawaii and are going to use the BCS for our sanctioned events out here.
So what do you think, Mike? Is Lisa going to be something that is going to be an asset to Barbecue Championship Series out there in Hawaii?
Oh, absolutely. So Lisa and Crash are definitely some of our biggest supporters, and they helped us get this whole barbecue thing going here in Arizona. I think they were our very first competitors that ever signed up for our very first event. A lot of people don't know this, but Crash and Lisa have 3 autistic kids, and they're the ones that jumped on and supported us from the beginning, and they're just some wonderful people, and we wish them nothing but the best of luck out there.
All right, Lisa, I certainly appreciate you calling in tonight, and as you get closer to those events, if you would like to use the show to promote or at least kind of give us an idea of what we're looking at culture-wise out there, barbecue in Hawaii. I'd love to have you on and talk about that.
Perfect. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for calling in tonight, Lisa. That's very nice. My mic blowing up on the phone calls tonight. Any other questions that you would like to address on the chat, Mike?
No, I think we're good. I don't see any other specific ones on there. We're excited to be doing the new sanctioning body. AZ Barbecue has been growing. We're averaging between 3 and 3.5 million hits a month on the site now. It's just incredible, wow. And we got a lot of fun. I want to thank a lot of our sponsors on there. I know David and with Butcher and Plowboy and Cosmo has really helped us out. They donate a lot of product to our charity events that we do that we're able to raffle off, and as well as a lot of other people out there. I know, Greg, you've helped us before, and I just want to thank everybody. You've helped us get where we're at, and we greatly appreciate it.
Yeah, and certainly appreciate the reciprocation back on the show, Mike, there on the website too. One of the things that I wanted to talk to you about, Mike, is the fact that you do the charity work there, especially for the autistic kids. And I know Lisa and Crash are kind of close to your heart in that regard. But, as you look around barbecue in general, as we take away some of the BS that's gone on between, either whether it be you and some sanctioning bodies or people getting disqualified for whatever the case may be. And I understand there's dollars on the line, a lot of travel expenses, especially for certain people, depending on where they're coming from. But, as you kind of survey competition barbecue in general, do you still seeing it be kind of more of a philanthropic event, or is it starting to get more and more towards a cash grab and like that professional sport type thing?
Well, unfortunately, Greg, I think more of the latter. And, that's why it was our goal with this new sanctioning body and still with AZ Barbecue to take it more back to grassroots. We like to pay deep into the field because as a competitor myself, when I go out on the trail, if I hit 10th place and I win $50 back, I'm happy. That's good to me. I'm not the guy that's out there competing every week that's winning the Grand Champions. I go out about 5 to 7 times a year with my own team, and we go out to have fun, to go to the different states, these different events, and just have a good time. And if I get a walk, it makes my day. And so that's the way I look at it when I'm putting on an event. We'd love to get people out there and get them excited with the sport and everything else.
Mike,
but I definitely see it going the way of money. We've lost events that we've done in the years past because they don't want to put up the escrow accounts now, and that makes me nervous. That it's scary.
What's the thought behind not kind of guaranteeing the money that you're offering?
Well, a lot of these people, like last year, we did an event out here in Arizona, and we had them put up the prize fund in the escrow account. And leading up to the event, they constantly asked for part of the money back because they had to pay bills and stuff like that. And we stuck to our guns and said, no, it's for the competitors. And the event went off and everything else. But if you go off of a gate to pay the competitors and it rains, well, guess what? You ain't got no gate, and all of a sudden, where's that money coming from? So it's a scary thought, and it's one of the things we try to keep the competitors and the event itself secure. So
sounds like you got a real tight ship running over there, Mike, and some good things are going to be happening. Again, Mike Reimann, AZ Barbecue, that's QUE at the end.com, and Barbecue Championship Series, or BCSBBQ.com. Mike, appreciate you giving me all the insight as far as how it shook out with you and the KCBS, but more importantly, how the good things are happening for you over the Barbecue Championship Series and how you're looking to grow ahead. And, of course, if you ever need anything from me, feel free to drop me a line. We'll get you back up.
Greg, I appreciate it, and thanks for all your support.
All right, take care. There he is. That's Mike Reimann, by the way, in case you need him. AZ BARBEQUE. Or BARBEQUE Championship-Series.com, BCSBBQ.com. That's got to be the easiest one. I think that's the best one. Got to run with that one. Some people are college football fans. I think, the 3 worst words ever letters. And college football is not NCAA, it's BCS. That's the reason why I refuse to watch college football, because to me it's a joke. And I understand that if you're by a huge city that's mostly collegiate dominated, that's your sport, and you have to get into it. And I certainly dig that. I'm from Ohio, 2 hours north of Ohio State, and of course Ohio State really rules the state when it comes to college football. But I just don't like, because there's no playoffs. I don't like the way that whole thing works out. But I am a fan of BCS BBQ, baby. BCSBBQ.org or AZ Barbecue, and that's a QUE at the end. Special thanks to Mike Reimann for really doing that kind of last notice for me tonight, as the traditional or the slotted guest from a couple weeks out had to back out. So, man, I was kind of like 0 for 2 today. So Mike did a great job checking it out. And if you're on the Ustream chat board, he has gone ahead and placed a link up there, Barbeque Championship Series.org. So go ahead and check that out. Don't forget, next week we will have Serial Griller Pitmaster coming on to talk about the Lakeland Pig Festival that took place this past weekend. So maybe a weekend or a week out of that, but evidently lots of good stuff to talk about there. And we'll try and reschedule Robin Medlin as well. All right, that's going to do it for me. We are, again, going to thank Derek Riches from About.com. Have a favorite grill, a favorite smoker, a favorite sauce, a rub, whatever the case may be, head on over to bbq.about.com and submit your requests to make it in for final voting. He will tally those, and then he will put up the finalists to be voted on. Sounded like right around the beginning of March, he will unveil. He'll come on this show to unveil as well. That would be great. Also, thanks to Tom Emery for having my back in the third segment. Thanks to Chad and Andy and all the other, thanks to Scott. Thanks to Smoke and Ronnie for not knowing who the Cavs are. Thank God. At least somebody doesn't know who they are. I'd like to not know who they are. Also, thanks to Mike Reimann, my last segment guest here in the second hour. We'll see you back here next Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And until then, this is your program host and proud U.S. American, Greg Rempe. Good night now.